Om. 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 Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Om. Blessed Self, Adorations. Katha Upanishad, translated into English by Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj of Yoga Research Foundation, Miami, Florida. I humble Sashtang Pranams at the holy lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev. Thank you, Gurudev. Katha Upanishad, the Mystery of the Soul, Chapter 1, Section 3, Mantra number 1, Day 30. We ended Section 2 in our last session with mantra number 25. So now Section 3 begins with mantra number 1. In the ether of the heart, in the dwelling place of the Supreme Being, there abide the two who enjoy the truth. These two are different, like light and shade. Thus has been declared by the knowers of Brahman and also by those who are performers of the Nachiketa's fire. So this is what Lord Yama is telling Nachiketas. And then let's see. Furthermore, Gurudev explains that Lord Yama continues his instructions. The ether of the heart is the center of one's being. So when we say the core of the heart, the ether of the heart, like the size of the thumb, there is a place called the cave of the heart. That's where the ether is. It's like Akasha. It is beyond intellect, mind, senses, and the objects of the world. It is the supreme subjectivity which includes and transcends all that exists. So very hard for anyone to explain what it is. It can be only felt. Brahman, the absolute self, is realized as the center and support of one's being, which with the unfoldment of the farther horizons of mind, one transcends the senses. With the purification of intellect, one transcends the mind. So again, with the unfoldment of the farther horizons of mind. So when you meditate and you go further beyond your mind, and when one transcends the senses, that means you are beyond that. It doesn't matter to you. The mind, it is beyond the intellect, mind, senses, and the objects of the world. So it is the supreme subjectivity which includes and transcends all that exists. So Brahman, the absolute self, is realized as the center and support of one's being. With the unfoldment of the farther horizons of mind, one transcends the senses. How? With the purification of the intellect. So, not questioning everything, the mind, everything in spirituality, everything is not about the mind. One transcends the mind. So, the more you want to develop, the more you want to go higher in spirituality, you have to transcend the mind, and that's where meditation is one path where you can try and like breaking that shield, breaking the barrier and transcending. So here it's breaking the mind. Do not let your mind control things. And that's what you experience in meditation, that you forget who you are, you forget what you were seeing, you forget any question you had. So you transcend the mind, and therefore no questions arise. You are Sat Chit Ananda. You transcend the body, mind, intellect, ego. With the purification of intellect, one transcends the mind. The fire of Nachiketas, so just going a little bit back, the fire of Nachiketas takes you all, means you do homam, sacrifice. And why is Nachiketas the fire? Because he's such a little boy, but he is bringing in the fire, and that fire is within us also. We have to find it, we have to ignite it, and with that fire, that's the internal. Whereas when you do karam kand, where you take some action, you do havan, you light the fire, you do any other type of austerity, we have discussed enough about that. So he had that fire in him, that I do not want to let go the third boon, I want to know about the soul. And that is the type of fire we need, the burning aspiration that we want to be self-realized. That's the austerity. So here the life of man detaches itself from lesser planes of existence. So these senses, these are the lesser planes of existence. Food, yes, we need food for this body to be sustained. Then the question is though, how much and what type of food? We need water. What type of water? What type of liquid? So the life of a man detaches itself from lesser planes of existence and moves into higher forms until it finds its utmost expansion. So when we talk about the lower forms. So anything below the navel, we have those 3 chakras. Of course, in the legs and below, there are these chakras that's known as to be the most lower cells. So we don't even go there. We start from the base of the spine, where it's Muladhara, the earth plane. So the earth plane is Muladhara and above. We talk about that, but anything below the spine, the end of the spine, the tailbone, the tail of the spine, these are the downward, the lower planes, the lower hellish side of the planes. So the earth, the water, the fire, these are the 3 lower chakras: Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipura. So the life of a man detaches itself from lesser planes of existence, means no, don't take pleasures in there at that level. Rise above that, come to the heart level. That does not mean the lower planes are not needed, not required, but don't be stuck in there. Just have enough that is required for sustenance. So, detach from those lesser planes and move into higher forms until it finds utmost expansion. The heart, Anahata, the heart center, Vishuddhi, the throat center, and Agya, the command center, is the Agya chakra in between the eyebrows, in the middle of the forehead. That's where most of us begin our meditation with, because that's your inner, it hits the pituitary gland. There's a hollow there, there's light inside, and that's why we put bindi on the forehead, so that negativities do not enter into our mind, in our being. And also when we apply different types, like if we apply chandan, the sandalwood paste, it keeps your mind cool. And if we apply vibhuti, the ashes, that reminds us of Lord Shiva, and also reminds us that one day all of us will be turned into ashes. So this body is energy. We don't see it. We see as flesh, bones and blood. But one day it will turn into energy, because once there is fire, it turns into energy and then into ashes. The infinite expansion of life is the realization of Brahman. Therefore, the dwelling place of the Supreme Being is described as the ether of the heart. So because from the ether, it's the Supreme Being within the cave of your heart, at the place of the ether. So the size of your thumb, there's a gap there, and that's how that ether, when it's abiding in this body, in the cave of the heart, it is alive. This body is alive. As soon as it moves out, this body is pronounced dead, and that then from that Supreme Being, that Supreme Consciousness is touched by this ether. The two refer to Ishwar God, the creator, and Jiva. Jiva is the individual soul. So now the difference between the two. So there is very subtle veil in between. God, the Ishvara, the creator, is abiding there in the ether, in the cave of your heart. And that's until this soul, the individual soul, does not know that the God abides right there within the cave of the heart. It does not know God, thinks this body is everything. He is the doer. So ignorance, until the soul is like that, it is called Jiva. And once it starts knowing God, getting connected with God, and realizes that God abides within, then it's called the Atman, the soul. It can be merged into the Supreme Consciousness after cleansing. These dwell in the ether of the heart, both the God and the individual Jiva. In fact, there is no such duality when the veil of ignorance is lifted. So the ignorance part is the veil, and that is why it is Jiva until the veil is there. So once you do japa, tapa, and all those austerities and prayers and follow the path of integral yoga, all those positive karmas, the more and more you perform, the more and more you do meditation, all these together, little by little, lifts away the veil of ignorance. So it doesn't happen right away. Everyone who begins the first step to realize God starts the prayers and starts doing service, little by little that veil is broken into. Slowly and slowly, then that veil of ignorance is lifted, and there shines the Atman. Just like the dust, you wipe the dust from the mirror, then you see your dual self in the mirror very clearly. While the dust is there, you don't see it clearly. Or if the mirror is covered with vapor, even then you don't see it. You have to wipe that vapor away to see your face clearly. So, but as long as human mind is limited and is affected by ignorance, so long one is confined to the plane of relativity. One finds oneself as an individual supported and sustained by the universal spirit. But when the limitation of the mind are removed through knowledge, one finds oneself beyond the concepts of individuality and universality. This is the realization of Brahman, the Absolute. When you start feeling that you are no longer alone, you are being guided, you are getting nearer and nearer towards becoming one with Brahman, the Supreme Consciousness, then you are slowly removing that ignorance. And once all that happens, that means the realization of Brahman, the Absolute is there. So God and Jiva, the individual soul are just like the sun and the ray, if that makes you understand better. So they are relative terms. God is Brahman qualified by Maya, cosmic illusion. Therefore, Ishwar, God, is described as the Lord of all created beings. He is omniscient, omnipotent, and all-pervading. He is pure and unattached. He is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. So the individual is the doer. Jiva, the individual soul, on the other hand, is the same Brahman but qualified by avidya, ignorance. So it still has that ignorance. While it still has that ignorance, it is the jiva. Therefore, it lacks knowledge of the truth. So, while the knowledge of the truth is lacking, then the individual soul is still the jiva. The individual soul enters into the world process through various karmas or actions and enjoys pleasure or pain while abiding in the heart. So that's why we feel the pain, we have pleasures and pains and all the cycle, round and round. God and Jiva abide in the same heart, but they are distinctly separate, even as light and its shade. So where the light shines and there is nothing in the middle, no plant, no tree, no cloth, no nothing. So that whatever is in the middle becomes the veil. So our karmas is the veil here. So when there is no tree, no plant, then when the sun shines, it shines directly. You see the light. As soon as a tree comes in between, as soon as a cloth, a flag or something comes in between, even your body, then what happens? There is shade. There is shadow. And the light goes away. Same is the ignorance. The ignorance becomes your karmas. Your karmas are the ignorant part of that veil, and that's what is in the middle. So it does not shine as it should. Truth refers to worldly realities. So again, the jiva enjoys the fruits of its karmas inspired by God. Therefore, both are described as enjoying the fruits of truth. Truth refers to worldly realities. The knowers of Brahman realize the distinction between the two. The knowers of Brahman realize the distinction between the two, means between God and Jiva. And they go beyond all relative manifestations of the spirit. Even so, those who have purified their hearts by performing Nachiketa Agni, sacrifice, or other righteous deeds also realize Brahman eventually. Knowledge matures through spiritual inquiry into who am I. So this is about inquiry, sitting in meditation and asking your own self, who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Am I this eye? Am I this hand? Am I this legs? Who am I? We keep saying I. Is that I the heart? Is that I the kidney? Is that I the stomach? Each part is individualized itself. When you become sick, that's the time you realize, oh, my hands are sore, my stomach is sore, my eyes are hurting, my heart is in pain. So all these things we say, but again they are individual parts of the same one body. Even so, you know that this body is not the I, because who will you label as that I? Which part of the body will you label as that I? You can't do that, because all of that belongs to the same body. But that soul, the jiva, is only one in your body, the individualized, the individual soul. So after you say, who am I? Then you say, where am I going? Why was I born? So all these are the questions that are to be meditated upon, to find the answers from within. So, and then this inquiry is enhanced by purification of the heart, brought about by the performance of righteous deeds. So, as you go along performing good karmas, sacrifices, donations, and good karmas, and helping others selflessly, then the heart gets purified, because now there is compassion. Now these hands and feet, this body is doing good karma. So Lord showers his blessings for the performance of righteous deeds. So the concept of God and Jiva in the heart is highly poetic, even though they are not two different. They are two, but you don't see them. You don't see as tiny little something there. Even researchers cannot find it or see it, no matter what they do. This has been further developed in the Manduka Upanishad. No, Mundaka Sasam se Manduka, Mundako Upanishad or Mundaka Upanishad, where God and Jiva are described as two inseparable birds with golden feathers. One enjoys the fruit of the tree while the other merely looks on. So there's a story of the two birds sitting on the tree. One tastes the bitter and the other tastes the sweet. When one is having, the other one watches on. The center of your being, which seems to be drifting in the currents of pleasure and pain, is not the real center. It is the fictitious ego, the bird that eats the fruit is the fictitious ego. Just like this bird is like those who continuously want to enjoy the world, want to do worldly things, to have those temporary joy. When the spiritual process enables one to withdraw one's mind and senses, one is able to come into contact with the real center. What is that real center? It's like the bird that merely looks on. So that bird which does not want to enjoy the fruit, but wants to merge in the Supreme Consciousness, so does not eat the fruit and just watches on. When mind is lit up with the light of knowledge, one realizes, so after lots of tapas, lots of inquiry, lots of service, lots of austerity, good deeds, good service, then one realizes that I am that, means that supreme, and that I is that soul within and is free from the process of birth and death. So that I, the soul that merges, the consciousness, the soul that merges into supreme soul, that soul is the real I. And all those limited experiences of life that are the results of ignorance. So I am that, and that realization, that means that soul is free from the process of birth and death. It's no longer painful about the death of the body, because the soul is forever, everlasting, omniscient, omnipotent, eternal. So once that is realized, there is no more birth and death. And all those limited experiences, that means the worldly joys, any experience of the world is limited. Those limited experiences of life that are the results of ignorance. So you are free from those limited experiences and ignorance when you are out of the birth and death process. So in the following mantra, Lord Yama prays to the Lord for spiritual strength. So that will be mantra number 2, and we will see what Lord Yama, how he prays to God. So in the next session, we will do satsanga on the prayers from Lord Yama. It's getting more and more interesting, and I feel very, very blessed to be sharing all these with you, divine souls who are following this very, very closely and trying to implement. This is a very high Upanishad, directly about the soul, and this changed my life when I got hold of this Upanishad, this satsanga from Gurudev. So it totally turned around my life, deep into spirituality, lots of experiences. I had started reading this in October 2014 during Thanksgiving, and that time I was very sick, very, very sick. And this Upanishad came into my hand. I was just watching, looking at books, and this is the one my eyes went on to, and I grabbed it, started reading, and then I completed. I read over and over and over many paragraphs, many mantras. I read many times just to get that not only the knowledge but the experience into the core of my heart. And I completed this in July 2015. I actually have the dates written here. But then 2015 and 2016, around June 2016, the calling came that I would like to take sannyasa. And I requested Gurudev, approached just via email. And I was blessed with lots of peace and bliss that I requested for Gupta, means secret sannyasa. And only in 2018, April 28th, then there was a ritual with Swami Nikhilanandaji. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is a life-changing, soul-searching, a turning point of life. And I hope and I pray and I'm blessing you all who are following this closely, that this Upanishad will touch your hearts, purify it more and more, to be uniting with that supreme consciousness in meditation and getting deeper and deeper knowledge and deeper feelings of God's presence in your heart. May the veil, the ignorance break and the soul shine. Everyone does not have to take sannyas diksha. Only when calling comes, when your duties, even a grasta, can definitely be liberated if they follow this path to break the ignorance of the world process and to overcome the worldly temporary enjoyments and rise beyond the lower self, the senses, the enjoyments of bodily organs. Once you are beyond all these, you are one. As the veil breaks, the more and more you outshine. So divine blessings to each one of you. So let us pray for all beings. Om Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. This mantra means Om, that Brahman is full, is infinite. This, the world process, is also full, infinite. From that fullness of Brahman, this fullness of world process has proceeded. So this world process, why it's infinite? Because it has come from that supreme consciousness. And it will go back into that supreme consciousness. Just like mammals and human beings, what happens? The mother who conceives a baby, of course it begins with two, the mother and the father, and once it sprouts, then it starts developing. The baby develops in the womb of the mother, and for human beings it's 9 months in the womb of the mother, and when the baby is born, it's full, means it's complete, same as the body of the mother or father. So means male or female, but it's complete with the head, ears, eyes, mouth, hands, stomach, chest, heart, and legs. And of course it's in the small size, but then it starts growing and growing and growing as years pass by, and it is full, it's complete. And there comes a time that they stop growing, and that's when we say is an adult. And then it passes on. The girl again, she gives birth to a fool. So same way, this whole process came from the Brahman as full. It's only like Brahman, but then it goes back when there is annihilation. When the world ends, it goes back into that same Brahman. But this Brahman existed before the world came and exists during this world process and will exist after the world process ends. So that's what it means, Purnamada Purnamidam Purna. So this fullness of the world process has proceeded. When this fullness is taken away, what remains is full. So, O Lord, Asatoma Sadagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings in the entire universe be happy, be in good health, be contented, be safe from the viruses and diseases. May they be healed, and may they be protected by the Lord. May there be auspiciousness for all. Hari Om Tat Sat. Divine love, light, peace, prosperity, healing, bliss, contentment to each one of you and your near and dear ones. This is Swami Lalita Priyananda from Sacramento, California. Hari Om Tat Sat. This was a long mantra, long explanation. Hari Om Tat Sat.